They're trying to tell us something. They have figured out the formula for chaos.
When the clock strikes 8:30, babe, time to head for Chris's house.
Hey.
Will the song make it to the next round?
Oh no.
Pot of Thunder. Let's pot tonight. Come on, baby, let's pot tonight.
Woo! Yes. Put your hands together for Doc Gibbs and the Emerald Live Band, bringing it to you each and every week here on Pot of Thunder. The recognized symbol of excellence, brought to you by Blue Microphones, and you know who I am.
Just call him Andy of the morning, Andy. He'll clap your cheeks before he leaves you, baby. Just call him Andy of the morning, Andy. And then he turns and walks away.
Nicely done.
That had to happen.
Very well done, guys. That's right. It's me. It's your buddy Andy, America's little brother, your Indiana Dream Boy. Thank you guys for that introduction this week. Didn't see that coming. Was that a collaboration between the two of you, or was there additional parties involved in the lyrical content?
Lyrical content? No.
That was all Chris.
Chris,
The
just the two of you guys.
Yeah, I spent some time in Kentucky, and I was immersed in some country music playlists, and that one came up, and as soon as she said "touch my cheek," I'm like, okay, this has to.
So
The cheek did it.
The
It
genesis.
wasn't Angel being like Andy. It was the cheek part.
Yes, it didn't occur.
Okay.
That was the light switch moment for me on that one.
clap your cheeks,
Yeah.
touch my cheek, or whatever.
It had to happen at that point.
Fair
So,
enough. Makes sense to me.
It's a bit more jovial than the original.
Little bit.
Yeah.
Plus, it's I'm almost to the point where I can actually sing on that one. That
Yeah,
might
you
be
sound good.
high water mark for me with the vocals.
You're getting better
I was
each and every
actually
week.
in tune on a couple spots there.
Yeah, that was very good. I have to say that crossed my mind while listening. Chris sounds good here. Chris is sounding good.
Well, when inspiration hits, you never know what could happen.
I think
Yeah.
a solo album might be coming.
Yeah, I think it's time.
Finally.
I'm feeling confident about it. I'm ready to do it.
Let's do it.
Time to strike.
Nick is not here with us today, so if you're watching on our Patreon stream, we're sorry. He's not going to dance for you here. I don't know if he's going to do anything from his home here, so we'll see. We're all in the room together all the time today. Nick is at home. Chris and I are here together in the same room. Nick, give it to us. Ready?
Give what to you?
Playing with his fingers. Oh, polka dancing his way across his podcast studio. Yeah, put your hands together for everyone. Nick Pollock has entered the show. Nick, welcome.
Thank you for having me. Sorry I'm not there physically, but
Now, there's a little bait and switch going on with this move, Nick. You promised you were going to bring an apparatus by
that's
tonight.
right. That's
It's
right.
not happening.
next week I will be bringing it.
All right.
I actually tried it yesterday. It works.
So this apparatus was related to a baked treat in some capacity, is that right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
but you were going, not only were you going to use the apparatus to prepare the baked treat at home, but you were going to bring it here?
I think what I'm going to do is it's going to be a two-part treat. Part of it will be prepared at home.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to bring the apparatus and actually prepare that.
Oh, I love that.
So, like table side service.
This is
It's
great.
like a as close to like a Benihana kind of a thing.
Oh,
you can do.
Oh, I'm gonna open my mouth, have Nick pop a shrimp in there.
my home will be a pile of ash and rubble after he's done with
Well,
it.
there's no heating elements involved. So.
Well, all right. Nick's here. Nick, welcome. I have a question before we get to Chris. During that little dance, you put your foot up, and as if you were dancing in your seat. How are those? We both got those socks from our mom.
Yes.
On the same day as a gift. How are yours still intact? Mine would have nothing left on the bottom.
I guess how many pairs of socks do you have in your drawer currently? In your stable?
I'm going to say 15. I don't know.
How many hooves in your stable right now?
My guess is 2 weeks worth, 14, 15. I don't know, something like that.
That's probably pretty close to it.
But you wearing through the bottoms of socks that quickly?
The second I see through a sock, it's gone.
Okay, I get that. But
okay.
Even if it didn't rip. Feel the floor. Okay, when I just start to see foot through it, it's gone.
But even so, you that happens regularly?
Yeah, it does. I don't know.
You got sandpaper on your floor?
I think
or what?
I think I walk heavy.
Way you walk?
I think I walk heavy. This is something I'm learning.
It could happen that way.
Nick's light on his feet. That's why he's a dancer.
There you go. Now we're getting to it.
Your carriage could.
I'm slow down, Andy. I trot like a horse and tear holes in my socks. This makes perfect sense.
Nick is the quintessential light in his loafers guy. We've always known that. So
that was coming.
You know what though? I feel like that's become a compliment over time.
Yeah, that's still a phrase you can get away with. You can say that without fear of cancellation, I feel like.
Yeah. And to be clear, because I'm looking at some comments here in the chat, I see David McCowan says something that he needs the same rule. So many toes popping out. My socks all wear out on the ball of the foot. That's my spot. Yeah, it's not the toes. It's not the heels.
I can actually
Mine's
say
the
that.
Heel.
It's never happened to me, ball or heel. It's always one of the toes.
Really? I've never had a toe pop.
That's interesting.
I
didn't know there was that much variation on it.
We need to get a podiatrist on here to explain this to us. There's got to be something with the way
Don't they make socks with like a padded footbed, a little reinforcement on the bottom? Ever look into those?
I'm going to look as soon as we're done today. I have not looked. Sounds good.
If we put the three of our feet together, we'd have the perfect foot, it sounds like.
Oh, I see.
Chris has got the toe. He's got the toe issue, Andy's got the ball issue. I got the heel issue.
Wow. I see. I have to wear diabetic socks here in the chat. The Wilfred Brimley specials.
Well, Chris has to wear those special socks for the rest of his life.
Yeah, you can have my leftover compression hose. I don't need them anymore since I found out that was a bullshit diagnosis by a roaring drunk in Northwest Indiana.
One of my favorite stories.
Oh, it's classic.
You could run those things over with a tank, and you'll still be fine.
Exactly.
The tank might not be.
Yeah, they're built for lifelong afflictions,
That's right.
Not messing around with that. You need a prescription for that shit.
Yeah.
How many years would you have been wearing those if you
currently?
Yeah.
At least probably longer than we've been doing this show. I'd say that would be 15 years in.
Amazing. Some quacks out there.
Yeah, and rip-roaring drunk in public. That's when I realized, okay, this guy might be full of shit. But
it's probably the same guy who told Nick that his eye was going to eat itself.
Yeah.
A professional doctor, whatever he said.
And ran out of the room.
Idiot.
I think I heard an engine start about 5 seconds later.
Squealing tires. White smoked his way out of the parking lot.
Yeah. All right, well, we're talking a lot early, but we didn't introduce Chris. Ladies and gentlemen, you want him. We got him.
I can have it every day, yeah. I can have it. Get out of my way, yeah, fuck you.
Put your hands together for the breakout star of the podcast, Medium. Chris L's here. This is Pot of Thunder. It's going to be good. It's episode 555, so 5's your lucky number.
Yeah.
Today's the day.
555.
I feel like we should just pick 555 off the list.
I was thinking that too, but it's not my turn. It's your turn, so... And it's your show, so whatever you want to do.
I think that's an interesting idea.
I think with the numbers lining up, you kind of have to. At least go to the screen, and if 555 is crap, pick something else on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Give the
That's a good
random generator a rest this week.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I say we do it. We'll look. If it's really bad, we'll talk about it. But if it's mediocre to great, I think we'll go through with it.
Yeah, maybe just.
And if
put it
it's
in
a
the middle of the
Gorky
screen.
Park song, it's not happening. I'll throw you out. I was about to say I'll walk out, but I live here. So
Yeah,
I'll
you're gonna
throw
have to,
you out.
You have to throw me out. Yeah. You can't walk yourself out of here. Okay. Well, Nick, I think you still are going to have to pull a lever over there to get the sports machine fired up.
it.
He's got one. What is that thing? What is that black nub? Oh, it's a remote control.
Stop! It's the lever.
Okay. All right. Moment of truth. Damn, dude.
What?
No good.
I don't want to do this.
Why not?
Because
Is it terrible?
it's stupid.
All right.
Well, it doesn't
Anything
have to
else?
be the exact number.
Anything else on the screen there strike your fancy?
No.
No.
This is no man's land on
This
the
is bad
song
stuff.
submission list.
Yes, is real bad. I might have to do something else real quick. I'm going to reshuffle the deck here.
Interesting move.
And we're still going to go look at 555.
You got to text us and let us know what the original choice was on there.
Yeah, I can do that. But I'm going to shuffle it instead, like by song title or something, because the one that we have is, so we'll still pick 555 maybe, but let me see, because that first one, I have to Bushwick it, so.
Move along to the next trick.
Yeah, the mind reels at what that must have been.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, we can do this, I think. I think this will
Now
work.
this is by song title.
Yes.
Okay, that's a
It's
horse of
interesting.
a
We haven't
different
done the that shuffling mechanism
No.
before, have we?
No,
Never.
because usually it's organized by artist, and then within each artist the titles are alphabetized.
We should do that more often. So we pull one number, and if the selection sucks, we reshuffle it with another
Yeah.
column.
Yeah, you could even do album title if
You could do album title, day it was submitted, day and time it was submitted, name of the submitter.
Yeah.
First letter of the comment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's just how we mix it up on this program.
Yeah.
I know
See,
people usually get upset that we don't.
well,
we
they
don't
get upset about
we don't
bullshit.
have a bit that we just keep doing
Mm-hmm.
over and over and over. They get upset about that.
Yeah.
Well,
So when
We keep
numbers
changing it
line
up
up
too much.
like this, I think it's time for a new approach, which we've stumbled upon, and see what happens.
yeah. So this is on the list twice. It's both number 555 and 556.
And after the reshuffle.
After the reshuffle. Yeah.
Okay.
This is in order based on song title. And both times with number 555, when alphabetizing, we've landed on the letter K, which is kind of interesting that artist and song title, both times when shuffled, we still land on the letter K
Okay.
at 550. That's weird.
Is that the middle of the alphabet? I
Yeah,
don't know
I guess about, yeah. A hair before the middle, I guess, technically. Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, guess what? 555. Hit it!
Yes.
Time for Pope stuff. Yeah, that Pope stuff. Here's some Pope stuff. Time for Pope stuff.
Big middle finger for all you dicks out there who don't like the segment. The hell with you. All of you. As is custom, Nick, any guesses as to who the Pope was in 555?
555.
Actually, based on this little tidbit, there would have been two. See if you can guess who was the Pope in the first half of 555.
Okay. 5:55. Was it Honorius?
Close. You got the
Oh, wow.
ending part right.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so June
First time I've
7th,
gotten it.
June 7th, 555, Pope Vigilius
Okay.
dies at Syracuse on his journey back home. I don't know where he was coming from, but his body is brought to Rome and buried in the San Martino ai Monti. There you go.
What's that mean? San Martino ai Monti.
I'm glad you asked. I did look this up, and it is a minor basilica in Rome, Italy, in the Rome Monte neighborhood. So
Okay.
there you go.
Okay.
Do you guys care where you will be buried?
Well, I'm not going to be buried.
Okay, I should say, do you care about what happens to your body when you die? Like, do you have a plan that you feel like, I would like this?
I have given the proper people, which doesn't include you two, but since you're on the line here.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're not comfortable saying it, I don't want to force you. I just
I don't
okay.
have an issue.
Okay.
I just don't want you guys to think that you have any authority.
Well,
So the people that matter to me have been instructed that my ashes are to be scattered in two places. Somewhere along Highway 12 here in northwest Indiana, and then somewhere in southwest Michigan, near some of my favorite places there.
yeah, that doesn't work for me or Nick, so you're going to have to pick something
I'm,
else.
I'm busy that weekend. Actually.
I'm busy that weekend.
That's nice. That's good.
Yeah, that's my plan.
All right.
What about you?
Oh, I would use the Danny DeVito from It's Always Sunny. You could throw me in the trash. I don't care. Whatever you want to do.
Nick?
Just throw me in the trash. Save your money.
Nick, are you going to go full casket?
Yeah.
Old school?
Yeah, I think. Yeah. That's
Nude from the waist down, like they used to do it.
Yeah, it's because that's would be like a last private joke that no one else gets.
Yep. Full boner.
Pubes still not trimmed. Ever.
Ask the mortician to arrange it so you're fully engorged when you're submitted
Yeah.
into the ground. I don't know why I'm
wonder
saying
if-
it.
I
anymore.
wonder
Probably
if they'll do
charge
that
you an
for
extra
you.
$50 for that.
It's worth it.
Everything's an add-on at the
We'll need an itemized receipt here just to make sure that it
Yeah.
actually costs that much.
fully engorged items. Quantity 1, amount $50.
You might as well.
Fully engorged special.
Who knows?
$10
Maybe that's
bucks
the way,
off.
Maybe that's the way you go out, and you just say leave it.
Leave it. Yeah, just put a rubber band on the bottom.
Just say leave it. Do you want the fully engorgement that occurred at the time of death? Yeah, just leave it.
Leave it.
That's fine. It's the way. That's natural.
In the event that that's how you go out,
He can have
what would you
it.
like?
Yeah.
What would you like us to do?
Yeah. That's like a organ donor checkbox.
Yeah.
You have to arrange that in advance with
On
the
the back of your driver's license.
leave it a
Leave it.
checkbox.
What are your engorgement wishes? Fully, semi, none. Always
Just
go
the-
fully.
Or
why
just
not?
the wild card, leave it.
Yeah, right. Surprise
Whatever.
me. There's another box out there.
Ah,
Okay, so how you feeling about your selection here?
never heard it. Know the band. The title's fun, and I took a peek at the comments. Seems worth it. Seems like it should be right up our alley.
All right.
I hope it's the case.
Always interesting when you're picking a song that you've never heard before.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it's not Nick who's just continually burned by that approach.
Almost every
Time and
yeah.
time again.
I feel like there's no way we'll be burned by this one. With the guys who submitted it, the title of the song, who it is, I think we'll be okay.
Well, that's
So-
why
Andy-
I'm feeling good
Andy-
about it.
Andy's checking the surprise me box. for
Yeah.
this pick,
Yeah,
so.
there you
That's
go.
right. All right, well, let's turn the microphone over to Chris Jericho.
All right, Harold. This one's called
Knockers.
off of
One-Way Ticket to Hell and Back,
by the band.
The Darkness.
Interesting.
Okay. First thing that popped in my head, Andy, you probably know what it is.
Oh, from our garage?
From our garage growing up. The Chicago Knockers poster.
What was that? We had so in our garage growing up, you know, dads just have random stuff pinned to the wall or whatever.
I feel like we've had this conversation.
Oh, maybe we have.
Because I'm gonna
might-
bring up something that I know we've talked about, and I'm pretty sure we spoke about it in the same context. But continue with what you were gonna say, just for people who may be newer to the show or don't remember the last time we talked about this. Go ahead,
Nicholas.
I'm more concerned with what exactly this organization was. I think Andy is looking it up.
I am
right
trying
now.
to, yeah. Oh,
Yeah, because
even better.
I always assumed it was a cheerleading squad of some sort, but I could be wrong.
If we did talk about this, I've forgotten. I know we probably did, but I don't know if we looked up what it was. But I see it here. Chicago Knockers, all-female mud wrestlers, 1979 to 1989.
wow.
Oh, that's a long time to be mud wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Wow.
as full a career in mud wrestling as you can possibly have.
Well, there's a documentary clip. Wow, we're gonna have to
What?
watch that later.
So you had a sign of theirs up in your garage.
I think it was a
Yeah,
team
some
poster,
Sort of poster. Yeah.
but there's no. As far as I remember, it wasn't evident what they were. That they were mud wrestlers, like
No.
Nick said. It was probably something like this, Chris. Just like
There was
Right.
no
Yeah.
mud. And
Could have been a roller derby squad.
yeah.
Could have been a
They
cheerleading crew.
weren't standing around a big pool of mud or anything.
No, and
like that.
it didn't say mud wrestlers. Yeah, maybe this. I don't know what. I can't remember exactly what the photo was, but there's a number of them. Just some type of squad of women in that time period.
Does mud wrestling still happen, or is that a lost form of whatever it is, entertainment?
I've only seen it in movies from the 80s.
Exactly. Like not that probably any of us have ever sought it out, but
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever come across even like driving by anywhere that had a sign that indicated mud wrestling.
No,
was
that
happening
the
there.
time frame you list, especially at the beginning, would have been the mud wrestling was a thing.
Yeah. It's over with. I wonder
There's-
why though. Like what? I mean, that didn't go away because of the internet. You know what I mean? Like what would be the reason that it came and went?
Club owners were tired of the mess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Seems like
Is just maybe nobody cared? Did
Yeah.
people care about?
yeah, it's kind of
What
it's
about
like
people
the
falling over in
mechanical
mud?
bull thing. Things
Yeah.
come in and out of style all the time.
Yeah, I guess so.
But to have a mud wrestling ring in the middle of your establishment, that seems like a lot to deal with.
Seems like a chore.
Yeah, I think I would be very surprised if that didn't factor into the dwindling interest in mud wrestling.
Heavy, dirty. Got to change it. What do you
Yeah.
do with the old mud?
You got to get a hose out and get the ring ready. It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
Of course, there's the famous mud wrestling scene in Stripes with John Candy.
That's one of them that I
Yeah,
think
It's
of.
a great one.
Yeah. So this track, Knockers by The Darkness, submitted twice, submitted by Neil Johnson and Bobby Root. So Neil Big Johnson and Bobby to the Root.
Now, there's a theme here.
Neil says,
Sounds like a couple of mud wrestling fans.
Yeah, Neil would definitely be down with some mud wrestling. I guarantee it. I mean, he frequents the Lansing Hooters, for Christ's sake.
that's true.
Mud wrestling, it would be in his wheelhouse.
He would have no issue with
Oh,
it.
he'd be in the front row. There's no question about it. And he would agree with that, I think.
He'd be like when they have like WrestleMania or a big UFC fight or a boxing match, and everybody just goes to see the pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'd be there that early. Like he'd have a good table.
Oh, you're
Yes,
saying he would go...
You know how people do that at those
like
types
at
of
Hooters?
places? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if they're showing something that's a big pay-per-view event.
You go at lunch and you wait
and you
like
wait
6 hours until it starts because you want the best table.
Yeah.
and you
just
you
eat and
nurse
drink.
a basket of fries.
Yeah. So Neil would do that for mud wrestling.
That's what it sounds like to me. Yeah.
Yes, I can
I mean,
see that.
He can tell us that we're wrong, but I don't know
He
if we're gonna
won't.
believe him.
He'll agree with us.
All right, so Neil's comment is, this band is definitely hit and miss with me. This tune is a classic and totally absurd. Okay.
I like that.
Okay, that sounds like everything we like.
Yeah, and then Bobby to the root. He says, yes. It's a no, he actually didn't put an exclamation. I did a Mel Allen there. He just said, yes, it's a song about boobs, but it's a classy song about boobs. Okay.
I'll believe it when I hear it.
Hey, I'm up for the challenge. I think this will be fun.
So this is their second album.
Is
seeing.
it? Yeah. Okay. I know we did Japanese Prisoner of War on the show here a couple of years ago, I think.
And Justin Hawkins, the lead vocalist, has been in the rock news a bit.
What's he up to now?
Yes.
I've been turned on to listening to his YouTube channel from time to time.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I enjoy it.
Yeah,
I
he
enjoy
has
his take
some.
on things.
Yeah, he has some good takes.
I have a friend
Yeah.
who keeps sending me videos, and I keep meaning to dive in,
He's-
and I haven't yet.
He's quite good. He was very excited to be playing on a Monsters of Rock cruise with Ace Frehley. And then they played after Ace's band, and Ace came out late, and then their set got shortened because of it. And rather mercilessly, Justin Hawkins was making fun of Ace Frehley for allegedly wearing a wig. I mean, just
On
straight up.
stage or just after?
Straight up on stage. Just putting it out there for all to hear.
Well, he's definitely wearing a wig. I mean, who doesn't know?
Yeah,
that
but he was just knocking them publicly
Good.
during the show. So yeah, he
Good.
let him have it, and I think it was all, all resolved the next day. I think everybody's good, but it was
All resolved.
it was a rather brutal
They
attack.
patched it up over the buffet breakfast and the
Over the mud wrestling.
yeah,
the next-
exactly, the mud wrestling ring.
Yeah.
the brunch mud wrestling.
Yeah.
Not that I feel like Justin Hawkins would get his ass kicked or anything in that situation, but it would not be ideal to get in a feud with someone when you're stuck on a cruise with them.
Yeah, that's a tough spot. Yeah.
It's different if you're just, ships passing in the night, whatever,
Yeah.
who cares? But the next morning, like you said, you're sobered up and you're at the breakfast buffet. You're like, oh,
And there
man,
they are.
Yeah.
what did I
It's
do?
a contained environment. And
Yeah.
You could also be conceivably flung overboard by the individual.
Yeah.
So that's it. Yeah. He's got some gonads to do that
Yeah.
from the stage. But hey, turnaround is fair play. One of my favorite clips is when Ace is bitching out the sound guy or the monitor guy. Turn
How
the fucking
embarrassing is
guitar up, you idiot. Over the mic.
You
Didn't
idiot.
didn't he kick the table that the soundboard was on?
I think he did.
Probably.
He walked over to it.
Good.
I think so.
Again, good for him. You should do that. Publicly shame dickheads like that. And then Hawkins turned around and did the same thing. That's another thing on a cruise. What makes you late on a cruise? What were you down the street when you were supposed to be on stage? No,
That's a good point.
That's another thing. It's like you have no excuses on a cruise. What else do you got? What are we embroiled in a tight shuffleboard match up on the topless deck?
That's true. There's
And
no
what was fucking keeping you from being on stage on time on a goddamn cruise ship?
there's no traffic,
Yeah.
not a
There's
flight delay. You're on the boat.
Zero excuses for that.
Also, why was time cut short? These are all interesting questions on a
Yeah,
cruise.
This
Right.
is
Is there
just
a
what I gathered,
curfew on the cruise? What, you can't play make noise at 2 a.m. in the middle of the fucking ocean. What are the neighbors
the whales
complaining?
need to get to bed.
So many questions and
Yeah.
so much bullshit involved there.
Monsters of Rock cruise.
Yeah. No
How could they have a
thanks.
Monsters of Rock without Gorky Park? I don't
Yeah, how
know,
could-
but I guess we should move on.
Yeah.
It's like the
Gorky
Moscow
Park was
Peace Festival cruise.
Gorky Park was performing in the nuclear submarine that was following the cruise ship.
They were in the U-571.
Yes, they were staying, true to their heritage.
The Red October
Exactly.
rock and roll cruise.
Yeah, right.
Well, I hope it didn't have a Polish screen door installed on that submarine. Let's get into this one. Do either of you guys know it?
No,
No.
never even heard of it. I'm like so unfamiliar with the Darkness, and I should be more familiar with them. But I had to look up which album this was in their discography.
Mm-hmm.
Looked through the tracks. Couldn't find one that I had heard. Love some of the song titles, though. We got one song called Bald. That's intriguing.
I'm gonna have to look at that one.
Dinner Lady Arms. I don't know what that is.
That sounds like some cheeky British humor.
Yeah, but Bald is the one I want to hear. Plus, it's the longest cut on the album, so
Oh my!
it's like their Stairway to Heaven, possibly.
Bald. Okay. Oh, I see another title. It sounds good. It seemed like a good idea at the time.
Yeah,
That's
there you
nice.
go. Like ripping on Ace Frehley from the stage on
Yeah,
the Monsters of Rock cruise.
Yeah.
that sounds like it could be a country song. Like Chris could be covering that next week
Might happen.
if he still has that in his system from his vacation.
Oh yeah, I'm ready. I do have another country themed one in the hopper. But maybe
yes.
I'll add that one in.
Okay.
See what happens. The world is my oyster at this point. My career is just starting to explode.
It's a good feeling.
It is a good feeling.
You get
Got the world by the balls once again.
nothing but the future ahead
haven't
of you.
had that feeling in 30 years.
Yeah, right? All right, well, are you guys ready to get into this?
Yeah, man. Let's get into some knockers. How cheesy is that? Oh, the thing I wanted to bring up, which I'm sure I brought up the last time you mentioned your Chicago Knockers poster, is the guys who lived in the dorm across the hall from my buddy Chris Brown, not the woman battering
Oh,
Pepper,
thanks for
not
clarifying.
him, but the drummer of the Dirty Crash, occasional pot guest. So yeah, the guys in the dorm lived across the street from them, had a handwritten sign on their door. It said, "Please knock softly and firmly because we like soft, firm knockers."
All right.
These were some clever, funny guys,
Yeah.
Was that the one we had? I don't know.
I don't know, but yeah.
I
maybe.
don't remember.
That one's autographed.
Wow.
There's a lot of knockers on the team. I can't imagine
Yeah,
there'd be this
it's
many
like
mud wrestlers now.
How many people are in a ring mud wrestling at one time?
There's 15 on this
That's
poster.
a lot. It seems like a lot of wrestlers.
Wow, that's almost a full tournament right
Yeah,
there.
that's a knocker mania card with 15 wrestlers ready to go. Are they wrestling each other, or do they wrestle like the Wisconsin teams, or what?
I don't know.
Since we're discussing it, and Andy made it, kind of a WrestleMania reference there. I wonder if it works the same way. There's got to be some sort of
like a hierarchy of, or you mean it's work?
Yeah,
Are you
or-
saying there's work involved here?
all I'm saying is you don't want them going in there just trying to hurt each other.
They have
there's-
they have to mud wrestle tomorrow, right?
Oh well,
Got
yeah.
to take care of each other. Got to eat tomorrow.
Yeah,
So-
anything beyond the realm of like collegiate or Olympic wrestling, you just assume that it's the choreographed, orchestrated performance stuff.
Yeah. Well, we're maybe we'll have to find someone from this team to come on the show
Yeah.
and
How
explain
cool would that be?
explain the intricacies of the Chicago Knocker universe from
How cool would that
1979.
be? Honestly, how
That would
cool
be
would
interesting.
be?
It would be interesting.
Let's
for
go
sure.
in search
I
of
think-
them. Because Ray Victory is dead, so that quest is over with.
Yeah.
Retarded
the-
Boys Room apparently is out there. We should make some overtures there.
Yeah.
And then any any member of the Chicago Knockers.
That's our list. That's all we're looking for.
It's a very short list.
And we should do it live from the Lansing Hooters if we find this person. People will be waiting from lunchtime to get the best table for our live show from there. Just every hour order a bowl of curly fries to keep the check open.
That's it. Okay.
And then, I was going to make a What's Happening Now, or just no, it was actually the first series, What's Happening reference when the Doobie Brothers were on there.
Yes, classic
And
TV
this
episode.
could be kind of like that episode where when we get there to kind of scout the location maybe a week or two before and say, all right, we'll set everything up here, and then we agree to it. Neil will be there, right? Oh, Neil.
He's there anyway. He didn't even know about.
But we could have a rerun moment with Neil where we come back a couple weeks later. We say, Neil, you came back too? He's like, I'm still here. Which is what Rerun told the Doobie Brothers when they asked if he came back to the high school to visit like they did.
That is funny. All right. Well, let's take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with Knockers 2005.
I mean, if you're gonna go with a sleazy sort of topic, then you can't beat just open string palm muting.
No?
To start it off with,
Well,
I don't think so.
And that's a pretty potent kick drum. Possibly the most potent kick drum we've ever heard on the show. Really cracks your sternum, as Gene famously said in Kiss Extreme Close-Up, I believe. But great sounding kick drum, great sounding snare drum. That's what I was sort of keyed in on, just because how could you not? It just commands your attention. Sounding really good. As most, if not all, of their albums. I'm not super familiar with their albums, but I have heard stuff from a fair amount of their albums, and everything I've heard sounds great, well produced. And this is definitely in that realm as well. Sounds great. And yeah, like Nick said, it's just that open string palm muting. Almost sounds like the opening to Who Wants to Be Lonely so far, actually.
Yeah, and All Night.
Yeah.
Something from that era.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hear it.
Oh Lord, I'm so bored, living on my own. You're devilish and dirty. They say you're pushing 30. Well, pushing 30 stone.
I gotta get my calculator out. I don't know what that means.
What do you got?
What
You
did he
got the
say?
lyrics open?
Yeah, I got the lyrics. He said,
He said, did he use stone as a measurement?
yes, he did. He said,
Okay,
oh, Lord.
we're lost in this country now.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got,
where's Bev DeVoe Paget when we need her?
yeah, he said, oh, Lord, I'm so bored. Living on my own. You're devilish and dirty. They say you're pushing 30. Well, pushing 30 stone. I don't know what 30 stone, what that is.
30 stone.
What does that mean? Anyone?
I don't know. I know the Bush album was 16 stone. but
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know
true.
what the fuck. Oh, 30 stone in pounds, 420 pounds.
Okay. Okay.
All right, so
Well,
it's
in other words, this woman would be hired immediately at the Lansing Hooters, is what we're talking about. Some more serendipity. This would be perfect.
Wow. It's a bit extreme. Okay.
So it's gone ludicrous already.
Yeah, I
because
was going to say right off the bat.
he's a very, like, just from listening to him on his YouTube channel, very musically knowledgeable, very talented guy. He adds that sort of, it's a sort of a vibrato, but it's more just like an overall shakiness to his voice, which just makes it kind of comical.
Mm-hmm.
which I don't think he has to do. For my taste, he doesn't need to do that. I think it's just maybe it's a comedic device, or at least he seems to play it up in that way.
Yeah.
And personally, it's fine, but I don't think he really needs to do that. I think if the lyrics are absurd, you'll get the comedic effect that way.
Yeah.
But that's I guess that's kind of his thing, is that his voice, he can do so much with it, and he can do these really shaky kind of. I would imagine it's hard to do because he's being so theatrical with it, so over the top.
Theatrical's what I was thinking. It's like a character, which is cool. I mean, you got to have some kind of persona when you're in a rock band.
And not many bands, if any, were at the time when The Darkness came out, were doing that. He was just bringing that back, the absurdity of it, and celebrating it. And what you said, all night. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something else I was thinking of is, the all night, the Read My Body, the Let's Put the X in Sex, the absolute absurd Kiss songs. I'm a big fan of those. Like, Paul's kind of distanced himself from that and doesn't really, pay those much credibility. But I just think, there's nothing wrong with getting just completely idiotic every once in a while.
I agree. It's fun.
Yeah, exactly. And that weren't people clamoring about the lack of fun in rock music. I think that's what the Darkness set out to do, is sort of bring that back in the theatrical elements of the Queens and bands of that nature. They brought that all back, and people seem to enjoy it, although they never really got huge.
Yeah.
But they were trying to bring back the stuff that everybody loved about the 70s and rock's heyday. And this falls into line with that.
They did it in a way where it wasn't that much of a shtick. I mean, there's plenty of shtick, but it wasn't like a parody. It's not like you would say The Darkness is to the 70s as Steel Panther is to the 80s.
Oh, no.
But there's still some of that. There's a bit of a wink and a smile about it as well.
Absolutely. But I mean, I don't know. I think there's a fine line there, but it's Steel Panther is just, they're clowns basically. Just, they set out to be a comedy act. The Darkness didn't set out to be a comedy act. I mean, they're a legit act, which isn't to say the guys in Steel Panther can't play. Obviously, that Satchel guy who's with Halford and all that stuff, I mean, they can play, but they're just goofballs.
But the
and
act
clowns.
itself is, it's total goof. Yeah.
I mean, the Darkness is definitely more closer to a legit band, mainly because they can play too, So.
Yeah.
Oh Christ, I'm enticed. Want you in my sack. You're party mouth bossy. You're anything but classy. I've just got to get you back.
These lyrics are way off. At least the page I have up. I don't know.
Really? I think this was right. I'll tell you what it says here. It says, "Oh Christ, I'm enticed. Want you in my sack.
Okay, I got that one.
You're potty-mouthed and bossy." And then I was wondering how he was going to make this work, but used the British accent to say you're anything but what we would say classy, but he said classy.
Yeah.
Rhymed with bossy. Yeah, I've just got to get you back. What did you have that was different?
The first line is, "Oh Christ, I am tired." I mean, what the fuck?
I am tired.
That's me every morning.
Yeah.
That's
yeah. And then
the song I
they
sing
got
to
the
the
"I
cat.
want you in my sack" line, right? But then the next one just says "your party mouth," and it stops
Party
there.
mouth.
Like, this
Your
is the
party
worst
mouth.
attempt at transcribing lyrics I've ever seen.
Keep that one up though. We're gonna need it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
terrible.
I like
That's
these
gonna be good.
incorrect lyrics are fun.
Yeah, this is loaded with it.
Christ. Oh Christ, I'm tired.
Oh Christ!
Just in the middle of this song.
I am tired. Not the contraction either. It's right up there with the "I'm hungry" song by Winger.
That's right.
I am hungry.
All right, let's see what's next.
It's been a while till the thin line smile, but the old magic's still there.
This, a lot of what we've heard so far, the rhythm of the guitar particularly, and then musically where it went during that, I'm just going to call it the pre-chorus, I'm assuming it is. It's I Want to Break Free. It's very, very close in my head.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good call.
Because the whole time I'm trying to think, what is it? And then when we got to that pre-chorus, there was something there. I'm thinking that's got to be the influence for this song so far.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Musically,
Well-
not as serious lyrically. Although the video for "I Want to Break Free"
Video's silly, as silly
was
as it could
very,
be.
very silly.
Yeah,
Yeah, so.
absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Let's see where it's going here. Big chorus. It sounded like we got a snippet of it.
Yeah, he's going into his falsetto.
Yeah. Take it back like 2 seconds just to get us ready for this. Here we go.
Still there.
Oh man, good stuff.
Wow. Is he? Did he just say, "I just love what you've done with your hair"?
Yep.
He said, "And I love what." Okay, the old magic's still there, and I love what you've done with your hair. Oh yeah, I just love what you've done with your hair.
I like that actually.
I'm into
It's
it.
not what I was expecting, but I like it.
That's another line that if you busted it out at the Bullpen Luxury Sports Bar would reap some rewards from that if you were to say that.
You can't
to
go
a
wrong
woman.
with that.
No.
That's always a
Even
good
if
idea.
Compliment a
Never met the
woman on
person
her
before.
hair. That's a slam dunk right there. And if you say it twice,
Like you can't.
the second
you're
time
not
you
willing
just-
to move on to
right,
the next subject.
right. And the second time you just throw a just in there to
I
emphasize it.
can't.
Yeah.
I-
You're
I
getting-
can't talk. I can't talk about anything else.
Yeah.
I have to.
Yeah, you will get laid with that approach at the Bullpen. There's no doubt about it.
All right, let's hear what happens. I don't know if I think I rewound.
I noticed that they got a little honky tonk there in between the chorus lines.
Did they?
Honky tonk.
So, it sounded, at least from what I'm hearing, like that.
Pull it
Some of
back
the
a little. I didn't notice that.
All right.
some of the lead line kind of had a little country flavor to it between the chorus lines.
All right, let's go back.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, I hear a little bit of it. I hear what
A
you're
little
saying.
bit. See, first Chris's intro clip, and then now this.
This is a very country and western week. There's some twangy guitar and a little bit of slide in there, right?
Sounded like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The lead line in between chorus lyric sets had a country twinge to it. Yeah, I heard it that time.
All right. I like this next line a lot.
Yes.
I'm going to start using it on a daily basis. Oh, crumbs, I'm all thumbs.
Crumbs.
I say that
That is
every
good.
day at work for the rest of the year to someone.
Just drop something on purpose every day and say that.
It'll get to the point where I'm just throwing things, yeah.
Just throw a pencil and then say that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so clumsy. I just threw the pencil all the way across the room.
Lying here with you. You're beautiful and busty, but I'm a little rusty. I'm forgotten what to do.
Is that some electric piano in there?
Yeah, I think so.
trading off with the guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it all of a sudden it sounded like there was a fight in a saloon or something like that.
Yeah.
Or a mud wrestling match in the
Or
middle of the
maybe-
saloon.
Wow. So player piano in and being, in the room with the mud wrestling, that somehow seems to make sense. I don't know if that's a
Yeah.
a trope of that sort of activity.
That would be great. It's a perfect
that's
combination.
that was the
Makes
setting
sense.
in the mud wrestling scene in Stripes. Just a big mud wrestling ring in the middle of a bar. Rowdy atmosphere.
But I wonder if the player piano, how that works with it. I bet it does.
Oh, I think how couldn't it work? It sounded
Yeah.
good.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
So I'm just realizing now, unless something's going to change, because we're only about 30 seconds away from the end, the word
Oh, wow.
knockers hasn't
Yeah,
been
they
used
haven't
yet.
said it, and there's only the one reference to her being busty. Everything else, there's no overt references to jugs in the rest of the song.
Yeah.
Did I say something funny, Nick? I don't know why you're laughing.
No, I was just wondering what word you were going to go with.
Well, yeah. It's anyone's guess at any point.
Is it?
But yeah, I'm a
Plenty of
big
plenty of
jugs guy.
synonyms
I'm
there.
a fan of the word jugs in reference to that female body part.
Could you read the lyrics from the second verse? I want to see if they're incorrect or not. This could be fun. The "Oh crumbs, I'm all thumbs," starting there.
No, it seemed to be they got them all right.
They did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just kind of raised their game as far as accuracy after
Okay.
the bottoming out with "Oh Christ, I am tired."
Yeah. So, yeah, you're beautiful and busty, but I'm a little rusty. I've forgotten what to do.
It's interesting
It is.
to express that level of vulnerability.
Yeah.
Takes a lot of guts.
Mm-hmm.
The only other song I could think of that portrays that sort of awkwardness in that type of situation is Counting Out Time off the Lamb Lies Down on Broadway album.
I don't know that one, Nick.
It's Peter Gabriel's last Genesis album.
He's
That's
got some of this material in there.
the song. Well, the
subject-wise?
song is about he read about what to do, but he's never actually done it, and now he's in the situation and he's freezing. He's blowing it.
He's blowing it. Well, get off the bicycle.
Well, that's the thing. When he starts to blow it, he goes back to the complimenting her hairdo, which will, get you back in the good graces every time.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong complimenting a woman on her hairstyle.
No.
It's a guarantee.
And that's
Winner.
that. I think that's still acceptable in a work setting. I don't think that you're going to get pegged for any sort of harassment if you say, "I like your hair."
Oh, I mean, if you say it like that, you won't.
Well,
Now, if you couple it with, fondling yourself or running your hands through the hair, that's when you might run into some trouble.
no, I'm just saying, like,
No,
that's
you're right.
something
If
The
the
phrase
I think-
itself is probably
Yeah. But I also think if you rub someone the wrong way and put the wrong type of pizzazz on those same words,
exactly.
you could make someone feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So
really, just saying,
You're
just
like,
simply
Oh, yeah, well,
saying-
I don't know.
Look at
Nick.
that hair.
Yeah, what? Yeah.
Well, that's
With
Vince McMahon is doing it.
she wants an explosion inflection that might get
That's
into trouble.
which you're not going to probably do. But I'm just saying, if other things you can say in a sort of matter of fact, polite way,
Yeah.
it might be uncomfortable. I think if you just simply say, "I really like,"
I think
what you've
you're
done
good.
with your hair.
Yeah.
I think even in a work setting, I don't think that would be grounds for anybody.
if
to
anybody says it to
report you.
me, though, I'm asking for an immediate termination
Yeah,
of that person.
exactly.
of myself, yeah.
I have to go find another job. Do not talk about my hair.
I'm now distracting everybody here.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, hey, 30 seconds left. So let's see what happens. I don't know if we're going to hear about
Not according
knockers
to
by
these
title.
lyrics,
No.
but they've been known to be wrong. So
All right. Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
Wow.
Yeah, no mention of the title. I wonder what other songs. I can't think of any offhand, but that would be a good thing for people to chime in with on social media. What other songs do not mention the title anywhere in the song? I'm sure there are some.
I have
Many,
to.
many.
I'm jumping ahead just to check if the song "Bald" uses the word "bald." Yeah, we're good. Okay, it's in there.
Oh, I thought maybe it'd have the same chorus as this song. It kind of makes sense.
It could have worked. For a minute, I honestly thought I had like a very brief panic attack that I played the wrong song for a second. Like, oh no, what did I do? Did I play
That
"Bald"?
one's I really love what you haven't done with your hair.
How shameful would that be if I had to say, guys, we just got 2 minutes into the wrong song? Do we change the intro or do we go back? That'll happen one day. Trust me. Michael Lubetti says, almost reminds me of Prince a little on the chorus. What do you think of that, Nick?
I don't get it.
I think I don't have a headache, so it probably wasn't Prince's falsetto that we were listening to.
Prince gives you a headache right away, huh?
This falsetto is grating. It's true. Go ahead and lie to me and tell me I'm wrong. Lie to me.
I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, I'm not going to touch that. Get Nick all worked up after he's eating Taco Bell. Not a good idea.
Yeah. Taco Bell, the official dinner of Pot of Thunder. The official supper of this program.
Time for dinner.
All right, well, it's time to vote. Sweet Surrender, a kick in the crotch. I'm going to vote first since I pulled this from the list from Neil and Bobby. I'm giving it a Sweet Surrender.
It's sweet surrender. Hell yes.
Never heard it before. I don't know, man. Every time I hear The Darkness, I think, I gotta check them out more. I gotta listen to more of their stuff. I just never do. It's what happens when you become an old lazy bastard. You keep forgetting to listen to.
That was the name of your tribute act in the late 90s, right?
Yes.
Old lazy bastard.
Yeah. It was a different time. That was allowed then.
He didn't bother to learn the songs. He just went up there and
It's too lazy to learn the material. Improvised it.
yeah.
It was more about
Chicago, Northwest Indiana's premier improvised ODB tribute act.
the costuming was perfect, but the material, I just didn't know it. Didn't have time.
Knew the titles and then went from there.
Yep. I gave it a Sweet Surrender. Like I said, I always want to listen to more of their stuff, and I don't know. I'm like, I have a hard time getting out of the however many small amount of bands that I just put on shuffle in a playlist if I'm listening to music. I gotta listen to more of their stuff.
Yeah, I need to do that myself. There's no excuse nowadays.
There's not.
With everything at your fingertips, if you're a subscriber to a streaming service like I am.
You know, it's funny. Everything's
Even if
easier.
you're not.
Everything's easier now, but also what's going on between my ears is not easier.
Well, no, that never gets easier. But in terms
Just
of
set in my ways.
you know, you're already paying for it each month, so there's no excuse to just punch up all the entire Darkness catalog on shuffle or. You know, in my case, I have a liked songs list on Spotify. I just add stuff to it, so I need to do the same thing because I'm going to give it a Sweet Surrender as well.
Oh, yes.
It's sweet surrender. Hell yes.
A great sounding track. I mean, the production is outstanding. The drum sound is killer. Guitars always sound good. Every Darkness song I've ever heard is just great sounding guitars. I mean, they know how to mix a guitar tone and record it. Whoever's their producer or whatever is just killing it. In fact, I'm gonna look this up real quick, but I did the Last of Our Kind album is the one album that I did like pay to download the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that track Open Fire has one of my absolute favorite guitar tones of all time on it. So always a pleasure to listen to them because it just sounds so good. The falsetto can wear on me a little bit, but I liked it here. And I'm the same as Andy. I've got no reason not to check out more of their stuff. I just never gotten around to it, but I think this will be the kick in the backside. I need to just simply add it to my liked playlist, and then I just listen to that on shuffle and let things come up at random. And yeah, it's usually a good way to go, and I'm gonna make a point to do that because I enjoyed this one a lot.
All right, Nick. What do you think?
Very Sweet Surrender.
Ooh.
It's sweet surrender.
Hell yes.
Very sweet.
Yeah, it was a really good one, and I will agree with what Chris said about the falsetto, that it can be a bit much. That when it's featured like that, so in your face, and it gets higher and higher,
Yeah.
and it just becomes unimaginable, and yet he's still doing it. Sometimes it can be a bit much, a bit overwhelming to listen to, but that's really not even a complaint. I thought the lyrics were weird, which actually is kind of refreshing considering, we didn't get Al Bundy writing the lyrics or anything like that.
That's where I thought it was going.
Which is what I was expecting. So yeah, it was a bit different than what I was anticipating, which is typically a nice thing, musically speaking.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm remote. I'm not using the blue headphones, so I'm not getting really the full sound of it. But I can tell that the production is pretty excellent.
It's
even though I can't really hear it all.
It's definitely sounding great, so no question about it.
Well, look where we found ourselves, guys.
All right, Hammond. I got a question for you.
Paul Stanley needs to know if Knockers is a rock and roll boner classic, as voted by the 3 rock and roll boners in this room. What was Paul Stanley doing here? Oh, man. Oh, this would have been like getting
05.
Live to Win together. That came out in 06, right? Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I think so.
So, hey, maybe rework Bulletproof.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, very serious album.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a moment of brevity on the entire Live to Win album.
There's no Read My Body-esque ridiculousness on there.
No, there's
It really isn't.
You believe
I can't-
that
it's-
album's almost 20 years old?
That's
already?
crazy. I was
Whoa.
thinking about that the other day, that DVD is from, it's from when the album came out, that tour from, a week later?
Right.
So, yeah, and that's almost 20 years ago already.
And he would, so yeah, which means he would have been like 5 years younger than I am right now when he did that.
Wow.
It's crazy to put things in those kind of
Yeah.
time frames. It's weird.
I hate that.
Yeah, that's what happens when you turn 41, my friend.
Yeah. But I hear 42's good, so. Total 180 from 41, I hear.
And of course, the Hank Aaron birthday is a big one for everybody.
Yeah. All right. Has to be unanimous. Is this a rock and roll boner classic?
Yeah, Paul would have been 54 when he did Live to Win,
Wow.
and that's 3 years younger than I am right now. That's insane to think about.
Yeah.
Still my biggest mistake in my concert career, not going to that show with you guys.
I don't blame you. We didn't make it very enticing.
Well, it's not about you. It's about seeing Paul Stanley at the House of Blues.
But I'm thinking the reason you didn't go was because of
No, I don't think that was it.
if anyone else asked me. God.
I mean, I've been dicking around with you guys for 11 years on the show, so that wasn't
Yeah.
it. Although, yeah, by 2006, I'd probably had my fill of you guys at that point.
Well, yeah, we didn't see each other much then. That would have been between the cafe
That would have
closing
been
and
right-
before Playboy for me. So
That would have been right at the end of the cafe era, and
Yeah.
if anybody associated with the cafe, I didn't want to see you. I didn't want to be associated with you because I'd had it.
yeah,
That might have factored into it now that I think back on it. But if it did, it was a mistake. I should have gone to that show.
a couple quiet years there.
But with the Rockstar show band, I mean, it had to have been awesome. And all the plants in the front row. I don't know if you encountered them personally, but just the fact that they were there elevates things.
Oh, that's just a Kiss thing.
Oh, I know. But
Yeah.
and
And he did it.
Wrong with
No,
it.
no. But I just remember one of the guys from Playboy that would tell us stories once in a while.
Custer.
Yeah. He would tell us stories because he was around during. What was his deal with them? I know he was around during their Playboy shoot,
I
but he
have no
like
idea.
he went to the Super Bowl thing they did when they did that pre-show thing. Like he was around in their wheelhouse for some reason, reporting. I don't know what he was
He
doing.
just
but
weaseled his way into the inner circle somehow.
yeah, he had like a
Parlayed his Playboy cred.
yeah, but he told us all about that they would ask in different cities for help.
Oh, that's a smart thing to do.
Yeah,
Especially if you're filming stuff, but
yeah.
just in general, have hot chicks in the crowd, that's never a bad thing.
No,
Never a bad idea.
No. All right. Are your votes in, guys? Have your decisions been made?
Mine is. Yeah.
You know, that's exactly why I was hired at the cafe. They said we need a beef daddy in here. Let's hire some eye candy.
Yeah.
That was talent.
Serving up those Brontosaurus burgers
Yeah.
that we needed. Nick, what happened to Nick? His
Sorry.
screen's gone black.
He quit.
I'm here.
He left.
Did your vote in?
Yes, it is.
Let's do Nick first since he's remote.
Yeah, he's screwing around with the
Yeah.
camera over
Turn
there.
his camera
I'm,
on and off.
I'm texting our mom. She said something's wrong with the podcast.
Oh, is the stream down? I don't see any other. Let's see. I don't know. If it is, I'm sorry. You can't hear that it is. I don't know. I don't see any other complaints, but I believe
Okay.
her, and I'm sorry. Nick, let's vote. Nick, Chris, Andy, or Andy, Chris? What do you think?
I think you picked it. You can go last.
All right, I'll go last. I see it's fine in the chat. Thank you, Chaz.
All right, let's do it. Nick, start it off.
I can't do it.
Ah!
It's quite good, but I just had to. It was close to just on the fence there, and the wind blew it one way, and that's the way it went.
The Taco Bell wind coming out of your backside, perhaps.
Yeah.
Not ready to give it a boner, huh?
Wow.
Drain the
Sorry.
boner at death.
Yes, not. He checked the did not check the fully engorged box. Didn't
No,
want
I'm
to pay the
sorry.
extra
Just-
$50 for that.
The just leave it field. was
Just
not-
leave it.
Oh man.
the don't worry about it.
Yeah. Leave it alone. What's wrong with you? There's
Yeah.
another box to be checked.
The que sera checkbox.
Well,
Mm.
all right.
You can-
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody.
Yeah.
Absolutely worthy of making the second round, though, of course.
Agreed.
Oh yeah,
No question
yeah,
about
for
it.
sure.
Yeah. Well, if you disagree with us in some way, we're sorry.
That's just the fucking way it is.
Don't know what to tell you. It's your problem. Nick, what do you think? Commercials?
I say we do a commercial.
You love commercials. All
I
right,
can't get enough.
here we go.
Yards of questions. Motherfucker, I give them!
Give 'em.
Yes, Chief.
Woo! Yes. All right. I like Danger. Love it.
What does that have to do with?
It's better if I don't explain it. No. I was going to say, I'm not even going to read this Yardo questions. I'm not going to screen it, is what I mean. I'm just going to read it live and see what happens.
It worked with the song.
Yeah. So let's just keep that going today. Oh, this one comes to us from Joe Urban. What's up, Joe?
Hey, Joe.
He says, hello, boners. Found this show after the Kiss years. Ooh. I was never into Kiss, but ended up loving the show and the plethora of various genres explored here. Plus, Tooge. Here,
Hopefully, he probably likes Pope stuff too. It's probably
I guarantee Joe loves Pope
that
stuff.
much of a refined individual where he doesn't have an issue with it.
You know what? His last name is Urban. I believe there have been several Pope Urbans throughout history.
Really?
Yeah.
Did not know that. Irvin? Is that the name?
Urban,
No, Urban.
like urban chaos.
There have literally been Pope Urbans?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't believe that. Is that true?
That's
How is that?
a lie. What's that guy's name? Urban Meyer?
Yeah, that's true.
That's the only time I've ever heard that name.
I'm pretty sure there have been more than one. Pope
Yeah,
Urban.
right now, I'm seeing the tops out at 8.
See?
I had no fucking idea.
8 Pope Urbans?
At least. There
Wow.
might be more.
It was a hot name.
Yeah, I had no idea. Okay.
So he's
well,
gotta
there you
love
go.
Pope.
Yeah, he has to. Totally right.
And his first name is Joe. How many Pope Josephs?
I don't think there have been.
50? But I don't know. No?
Maybe not. I can't think of any. There's certain names like Francis. That's the first one
That's-
ever in
that's
history.
wild.
So there are some names like
Not
nobody's
Joseph,
ever
though?
taken. I don't think so. I don't think there's been a Pope Joseph.
What are they doing?
Yeah, 8 popes named Urban in the Roman Catholic Church. Who the fuck knew that? That's amazing.
Joe says, here are Yardos. Should you be generous enough to read them on air? Yes, we are, Joe. All right, Joe says, a phrase I can't stand. This is question 1. A phrase I can't stand is, try it. You have nothing to lose. When it comes to food, in my opinion, you have a lot to lose. Ever try something different in a restaurant? If you hate it, then you're out $20+ for dinner and you're still hungry because you only ate half of it. Do you agree or disagree? How do you feel about this?
Rolling the dice at a restaurant?
Yeah. If you know there's something you like, skipping it and going to something that you have no idea if you're going to like it or not.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
I'm assuming it means a dish as a whole that you've never
Yeah.
had, not just like,
Yeah.
I'll have the pork chop from this place because I know I liked it from that place. It's got to
Yeah,
be...
or just like, oh well, this pasta dish, I like everything in it. I've never had it, but I'm gonna try. Like that's different. I think. Like I'll start with an example. I disappeared again. With an example from recent memory here.
Say memory?
Well, it's the theme of the show.
I guess.
The Chicago Memories were actually the rivals of the Knockers. I'm not a seafood guy, never have been, and I had the chance to try lobster tempura, last year.
Mm-hmm.
Gave it a tiny little bite, and glad I didn't just do what this question was saying, just order it. It's just not for me.
What is it
like-
about seafood you don't like? The texture? What is it? The smell?
It's kind of everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
But it was like, if it was something like that where I've never had it and it's supposed to be good, it would have been a mistake for me. Even if it's excellent and people who like seafood love it, it just wouldn't work for me.
All right.
So I'm on board with this. Like, you don't want to just throw caution completely to the wind and try something completely new and put all your eggs in that basket.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at this stage in my life where I feel like I don't really, unless I'm doing an Anthony Bourdain thing where I'm going in the middle of nowhere and just eating weird shit, which I
Bugs
won't
and
ever
shit?
do. You know, any restaurant is not gonna, it's not gonna have anything super crazy on the menu that I
Yeah.
would like, you know, consider trying. But you know, in the spirit of the question, I'm going to go back to, and it is actually a seafood related thing. So it might have even been the first date I went on with my wife, and she wanted to go to a sushi place, and I'd never been to a sushi place before, but I totally fucking lied and said that I had.
Yeah.
And when it came time to order, I ordered whatever it was where they basically bring out this block of raw tuna. It wasn't one of the rolls or
Yeah.
anything. It was like hardcore sushi, like a fucking brick
Yeah.
of raw red tuna.
Is that sashimi, I think?
Yeah,
Maybe?
I think so.
Yeah.
So when they set it down in front of me, I was just like, "Oh, that's what this is," and that's when I had to confess. I'm like, you know what? I totally lied about being a sushi guy. I've never had it before.
That's funny.
I lied, and so yeah, I couldn't eat that, and so I got stuck with that bill and then ordered something else. So yeah, I've done that before. It was a mistake. But at this stage of my life, I don't think I would, you know, I wouldn't do it for the reasons mentioned, and B, there's very little that I'm going to be served in America anywhere that's going to be like just so out there that I'd be tempted to try it and then I would end up hating it. I don't see that scenario happening.
Chris said, pack this up for me and bring out the chimichanga, please.
Yeah, pretty much. I was totally got busted in a lie, and it was, and, you know, we laugh about it now. to
That's
this
funny.
day,
That's
but-
very endearing.
Yeah, I had to come clean because I'm sitting there staring at this huge piece of raw tuna.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't eat that.
No.
I can't even touch it. So I had no choice but to admit that I was a fucking liar. So, exactly how you want to get a relationship started off on a blatant lie like that.
Yeah.
Hey,
It
the
worked.
relationship's still going, so who knows? Maybe
Yeah.
that's the way to go.
All right. Question 2. Are you a fan of any movie franchises? For example, the Star Wars movies, James Bond, Indiana Jones, etc. My prediction is Chris hates pretty much all of them, and Nick likes some goofy, obscure one. Is Joe correct with his assumption?
He's pretty correct with mine. I mean, I would say that I don't know. I guess it's technically not a franchise, but the like Steven Seagal movies. It's not the same character. I mean, it basically is
Basically
the
is.
same character, but it's not in all the movies. But
Yeah.
Hard to Kill, not that great, but like everything else with the 3-word title in the 80s and 90s, and then throw in the Under Sieges, and you know, there's some other later period ones that are good. I mean, if Seagal's in it, I'll watch it and I'll enjoy it.
And you actually enjoy them.
Oh, of course. This surprises you?
Well, I thought it was that your enjoyment was almost like, this is absurd.
Well, that's part of it,
part of
for
it?
sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I think his run of quality 3-word title movies came to an end once the Just Leave It film came out.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah, that messed up the formula. But,
Well, when it starts when the main character's dead, it's tough to keep the audience's interest.
But yeah, the other, like, go down the list of the like the Jack Reachers or the fucking Mission Impossible.
forget it.
I've never seen a single one, and I never will. I'm just not interested. And now they're trying to turn Ghostbusters into just like this ongoing
Don't get me started.
franchise. I said it with that exact purpose to get you started.
You wanted to
It's
get
like,
me started?
so is nothing sacred? And that's a rhetorical question, because when it comes to Hollywood, the answer is no. And that's in that wheelhouse. They're trying to turn it into like a Harry Potter or a Marvel movie series. It's like, just stop.
Just let it go.
Talk about
Jesus
beating a
Christ.
dead horse with that.
Fuck, man. Annoying.
You cannot expect anybody of the younger generation to care about Ghostbusters, and they keep trying.
They won't let it go.
And
They're counting on
The-
parents who pretended they liked Ghostbusters when they were kids, that they're
Well,
going to
and-
make their kids watch it.
yeah, and the other movie, and I brought this up to you guys in our group message. The other movie that comes to mind, and they haven't tried to reboot it or sequel it, is E.T. You're not going to get someone of the younger current generation to care about E.T. at all. I don't even care about E.T.
Yeah.
You're not going to get someone. You're not going to get someone 30 years younger than me to care about E.T. or Ghostbusters.
You got to make
It's
your
just
own
not gonna
ET.
happen.
Well,
They
but
don't-
that
yeah,
takes
they're
too
not
much
gonna care.
creativity and effort, and they're just not going to do it. They're not capable of it.
Yeah.
So, Nick, did you have an answer to the question, or any?
I have an undeniable movie franchise that
Okay.
nobody is going to say isn't great. And it's very topical. Came up today in conversation because of what happened, I guess, yesterday, but the news came up today, and that would be the Naked Gun trilogy.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
You,
Yeah. No,
you
that's good.
cannot deny the brilliance of those.
No, you're right about that. That's actually a good one. Yeah.
All right.
Yep. OJ.
Nick was once into James Bond movies. Are you still into those, or did?
I haven't watched them in a while, but yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I am. Yeah.
Like, did you
have
keep
my-
up with them, or did you kind of tap out like in
No,
Roger Moore or something?
Never got into Daniel Craig.
Okay, but you like Pierce Brosnan, right?
Pierce Brosnan is arguably the best one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think so.
I like Pierce.
I've seen some Connery movies. I've seen probably all the Roger Moores. I prefer him to Connery, believe it or not. I know that's heresy, but
It is to a lot of people, but it's a valid. I say it's a valid opinion.
yeah. And then I haven't seen one since, so.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make myself sound like a moron here, but at a certain point, probably starting with some of the Pierce Brosnan ones, maybe not the first one, but at a certain point, I've watched James Bond movies, and halfway through and when it was over, been like, man, I have no idea what was going on in that movie.
It kind of they kind of get like Mission Impossible.
Yeah, same thing,
where
where I'm
it's,
like-
it's just too much to follow.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like
Someone's got
like a
codes, or so they've got a briefcase, and there's got to be a card game, but like I don't know what they're doing.
Or it's like a Doctor Who episode, which I know you guys probably haven't
I've
seen,
not.
but that's how it is. Where it's like they will purposely leave something unexplained for most of the episode, and you're like, why do they keep bringing this up? Did I miss something? And they haven't explained it yet. It's like, why are they doing this?
All right. Question 3. What do you think about this new trend of musical artists performing in less cities but doing the same amount of dates? For example, Taylor Swift and Metallica are performing in less cities but doing multiple dates in the same cities because they found out that people will travel for these shows, and as such, they can save money by now not having to move their shows as much. 60 shows in 25 cities is a lot more cost effective than 60 shows in 50 or 55 cities. Of course, the ticket prices are just as high. While you guys think about that, hopefully I get these questions picked. Either way, love the show, guys. Thank you so much, Joe. Great questions. Appreciate it. Glad to have you on board. Glad we got you on season 2. Got our hooks in you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
I think I wonder if this has to do with bands in recent, maybe the last decade or so. They'll do their Vegas residencies,
Right.
and people come out for it from all over the place. And then it's like, let's just do a string of residencies instead of one or two nights in cities. Sounds smart to me.
Yeah, if it's working, right?
Yeah, and people will travel. You know, people do want a reason to take a little trip, a road trip or whatever. So I could see that. I don't know. I haven't indulged in any sort of shows like this.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good idea. Ticket prices will never go down.
And
Ever.
Nothing ever goes back down.
No, especially ticket prices.
I've said it many times, and I'll say it again. I've been priced out of entertainment.
Oh yeah,
That category in my life is gone.
Although
not happening.
I will say, whatever it cost, I would have paid it. But I did get my ticket to see Beat with Vi, Blue,
Oh yeah.
Carrie, and Levin doing the early 80s King Crimson stuff. I'm going with 3 of my buddies. Fortunately, the tickets were pretty reasonable. They were $99 each. I mean, that's still up there, but it's doable. But like sports, live sports, even baseball, I'm not paying that.
Yeah.
No way.
You could get to a Sox game if it's somewhat reasonable, but other than that,
Yeah.
forget it.
Yeah.
Can't go to a Bulls game.
Oh no. It's like it's like there are 40 some home games. Who the fuck can afford all that?
Yeah.
The place is full every night.
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking, if you go with 2 people, never mind a family, but like you and your spouse or whatever, if you're footing the bill for 2 people, you're gonna drop $500 on a fucking regular season NBA game?
Yeah.
Fuck that. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. No way. I don't have that kind of scratch.
Especially in the load management era.
Oh, there's that too. That's a fucking outrage. An
Yeah.
absolute outrage. That's a whole other. I could go down that wormhole very easily.
They should do the thing. I don't know if they do this in any other forms of entertainment, but I know this from wrestling. Like if they have an advertised card, and you go to a show, and one of the headliners is not there because the card's subject to change, you can ask for a refund on the spot and get your refund. They should start doing that for the NBA. Like, oh, Kevin Durant's not playing today. He's taking the day off.
No.
I'm not picking on Kevin Durant, but just first name that popped into my head. You should be able to go to the box office when they do the starting lineups and get your money back.
They're not as generous as wrestling. They're not giving a nickel back if they don't have to. Absolutely not.
It's ridiculous.
That's a goddamn outrage. These guys. I don't even know. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole because I got a strong.
Steam's gonna
opinions
come
on
out of your
that.
ears
Fucking,
on that
it's a disgrace. Spitting in the face of the people who give you that lifestyle. Without the fans' money, you got nothing. So yeah, that's bullshit. Complete.
Well, and like Andy said, in Chicago, if you want to go see a professional sporting event, the White Sox are the only option at any kind of reasonable cost.
Yeah. Even that, with you guys going with your kids, you're dropping at least a C note.
Oh, are you kidding?
I mean, I'm just throwing that number
That's just
out there,
that's-
but I mean,
and then now they want you to tip them when you get food at all, because they don't have, you can't get a burger and a slice of pizza and fries, and at the same place they want you to tip at every individual little stand that
it's
you're visiting.
fucking ridiculous.
You get
man.
nothing.
What was the question? Original question? I don't know if I even answered it yet.
It was, what do you
About
think of the bands playing fewer shows, or the same amount of shows but in fewer cities,
right.
doing like
Well,
mini residencies?
It's smart
almost?
business, and when you get to that level, you take that shit into account. You're not out there. Oh, I'm going to play for the love of music, and get to the end of the tour and realize that I broke even at best. You know, you got people in your organization, if not the actual band members, who are crunching these numbers and being like, "Look, this is the way to go."
Yeah.
And as people get older, the less travel they have to do is way beneficial to them. So it totally makes sense on a lot of levels. And as Nick pointed out, these arenas are getting filled by people coming from all angles to show up at these things. So why wouldn't they do it? Everything that's continuing to be done it wouldn't continue to be done if the fans weren't supporting it.
Yeah.
So that's the bottom line, you know.
And I'm sure, like you said, people in their organization, it's probably 100% whoever is like, I don't even know the correct terminology with a touring band, but I'm sure some tour management company is like, this is what it is, this is what you're going to get, this is what we're doing. So
Yeah,
let's go.
absolutely.
Like, this is the best for everyone here. We're all going to make the most money doing it this
Right.
way. Who's going to say no?
Right. Kirk Hammett is not putting his foot down
Yeah.
and saying, no, we want to play a different arena every night.
Yeah,
And be like, yeah, shut up. Your opinion is not your opinion is not being considered here.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing, that with these bands continuing on and looking at the bottom line, and in some cases, what everybody gets their dander up nowadays, that, oh, there are no original members left or whatever. These bands are organizations. They employ a lot of people, and they feel an obligation to those people to keep them employed.
Yeah.
And if the fans keep showing up, they're going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
All based on the fans and their willingness to support something. And that's what's being supported nowadays, and it makes total business sense.
It does seem like the way, well, from everybody I talk to, everybody talks about, you know, I said I'm priced out of entertainment. I hear things like that from friends. Apparently, I'm in the minority because everybo's traveling to other cities and spending hundreds of dollars to go see Metallica in a football stadium and buying $300 of tour merch and hotel rooms and flights. I don't get it.
Yeah.
So someone's making it work out there.
Yeah, no, a lot of people are making it work.
Yeah.
And God bless them, but that ain't working in my budget. I just, there's no way. And sports especially.
Yeah, there's so many games. It's like you said, you can't justify a regular season game spending that much money when you could just watch it on TV for free. It's
Exactly.
like, man,
Well-
I can't. Like, I'm going to spend $400 or whatever, or just stay home and see every second of it perfectly.
Well, and to what Andy just said, I've almost been priced out of watching the games at home. I can't keep up with how
All the
many
services.
different. Yeah, because there's no one place where you're gonna get it.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's a whole
And at
streaming
a certain
thing.
point, it's like, all right, I know this team is playing right now. Where is it? I can't find it.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's on Prime today or whatever. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, or this.
So,
They do that now with. I know that NFL does it for certain games, right?
Well,
where they're
they
on,
just started this last year. They put a playoff game on Peacock.
on Peacock, yeah.
And
So
it's
like,
you know, if you don't subscribe to that, you don't get to watch, or you have to go to a fucking bar and watch it. And that, you know, watching a game at a bar, next thing you know, you spent $80 or $100. And it's, you know, everybody's got their fucking hand in their pocket.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
yeah, and it's spread out among so many different apps at this point.
Well, right, exactly. And all these know-it-alls who cut the cord on cable. They're paying more than they used to because they have to have every fucking streaming.
I was going to say, it was a great idea at first.
Well, right,
And
until
then-
they roped everybody in and started inching up the prices, which you knew they were going to do.
Inching up the prices, and also it's the same thing that happened, well, sort of like with satellite radio and stuff, where basically there's this new thing that becomes a challenger, a competitor to what's happening, and it grows quickly, and they hire all the people from the dying thing, and then they just do what the dying thing did here, and it's
Right.
the same thing again. So now there's, instead of there being a whole bunch of channels, now there's a whole bunch of streaming services. It's the same thing.
Is there anything more offensive than paying for something, especially these streaming services, and you're subscribing to it and they're showing you fucking commercials?
That's crap, yeah.
I mean, I get it on cable, but even that is like, the whole premise of cable was like the HBOs and stuff.
Yeah.
Commercial-free stuff, and then they started adding all these channels and blah, 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 but like the whole premise of satellite radio and like subscription services is like, okay, I'm paying my subscription. I don't want any ads, but you're getting them.
Yeah. Because they'll tier it where
Yeah.
the one you're paying for now has ads. Suddenly, my subscription's no good anymore. Now it's over-the-air TV,
Right, exactly.
and I'm paying $12
Yeah,
a month for it.
Exactly right.
So I have to pay $20 now if I want no ads. Yeah.
Well, the ads are terrible, and there have been a couple instances where I'm personally not a subscriber to it, but I have checked it out. The Marquee Network, which plays the Cubs games,
Yeah.
where I'll have someone come over and put the Cubs game on. So I have Marquee ready to go. I turn it on, and it says it's blacked out. How is that possible? That the one place they show it is
It's-
blacked out, and it's something that you pay for to get every game.
That's garbage. Is it something if it's
I
like
think it was
on
a
ESPN
Cubs
or
White Sox.
something?
It was like a Cubs White Sox game, but it's on Marquee. It's a Cubs game.
that's the
That's
only...
the only thing.
Marquee is a
good for.
Cub. For people who don't know, it's literally
That's a,
the how you watch Cubs games now. It's the streaming service of the Chicago
Yeah,
Cubs.
and yet they will still black out games.
That's crazy. I had no idea.
Yeah.
it's all a money grab.
See, and there's a downside to everything. A la carte TV sounded great, and it is great in some ways.
Yeah.
But there's going to be a downside where there's now it's spread out everywhere, and you got to really look around to find
I feel like the
every
winning formula is to just pick one and then stick with it for, I don't know, 3-4 months, then cancel it and try another one.
Yeah.
And then if you get into something, watch that series, then cancel it and try the other one. I don't know. I think the way they get you is that you feel like you're going to miss out if you cancel it, because you know there's good stuff there, even if you're not watching it. Like, you have to have it.
Well, it's just whatever the hot show is. Whatever the next hot show is, you can rest assured, Nick loves it when I say that, you can rest assured that it ain't going to be on the same streaming service as the previous hot show. So you're going to have to go over to something else. And it's a whatever. I'm totally old man ranting at this point. I've still got my Uverse cable. I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
Although I'm pretty sure we've subscribed to some other services too, because my wife likes to watch stuff I don't even want to know about. That's the other thing. It's like you forget what you subscribe to, and the charges add up. And
Yeah, I mean, let me think just off the top of my head. I bet just in streaming services, I'm probably paying $70 a month. I don't know, 60, 70. I don't really use them very often.
right.
So,
But if there's one person in your household who uses it,
Yeah.
you're on the hook for it.
yeah.
Can I relay a story that a friend of mine told me about Uverse?
Oh, I thought it was going to be about PlayStation.
It's more on that later.
Okay.
But Uverse. So a buddy of mine was telling me recently that when Uverse was pretty new, they had the door-to-door salesman coming around, and they came by to where him and his wife were at home, and they answered the door, and they started letting the guy give them the talk, the whole spiel, and the guy, and this is what sold them on it. The guy told them, you can watch network TV shows before they air.
What?
And they believed him.
You see, they just got a salesman lying to the people.
A salesman lying to them, and I don't know if they tried calling and saying, hey, what's going on here, but they hook, line, and sinker went for it. That before, so say the last episode of The Office is next week.
You already got it.
You can watch it now. It's like, no, that's not how it works. And then I was like, so like if the Super Bowl's on next week, what do you think? Like you're gonna get it early?
You watch it. They already got it. They already made it.
They already got it. They know what happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, but they actually bought it, figuratively and literally bought it based off of that. Some sort of weird time travel sales pitch that the guy gave them.
I'm sure somebody told this guy, like, all right, one of the things to tell people is you could watch a complete series. You could watch a whole season of The Office, like you said.
You
but it
think
has
he
to be last.
misunderstood?
It has to be last season or the current. But you can't watch the ones that haven't happened yet. You can
think
watch
he
the previous.
misunderstood or wasn't being deceptive?
Maybe deceptive. I'm giving him too much credit. I just feel like
I'm thinking it's deceptive.
I'm projecting the position I would be in, where you just get thrown into situations at jobs where you're not comfortable because no one trained you. You have no product knowledge, so you're just making it up instead of trying to swindle people. You just are lying because you don't know. You're lying that you know, but you don't even know what you're saying. That's the position I've been in.
You realize the absurdity of the situation.
This is all coming right around back to my sushi restaurant lie.
Yeah.
It's like, once you're busted, you just got to admit it and take your lumps at that point.
Yeah.
But,
all right.
what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? Well, thank you, Joe, for your Yardo questions. And if you would like to send Yardo questions over, please go to potofthunder.com, click that widget, send over not one, not two, but 3 questions, and we will answer them on the program. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning into our Patreon if you're watching live with us or on demand.
Which, by the way, that's not a lie. All the people who have the on-demand do get the episode in advance of its release. So
That's
we
true.
are not Uverse level liars. You get what you pay for from us.
At least a few days early.
Well, hey,
Hey,
it's
still early. It's still early.
And you can watch it whenever you want. You don't have to participate in the live feed, although it's fun. There's a discussion going on, and it's a good time if you can manage it, but we deliver on our promises.
Yeah. Potofthunder.com patreon.com/potofthunder.
Well, it is the other way on our website.
Is it there? Yeah, so you'll find it. Just type all those words in some
one
order.
way or the other, you'll get there.
Yeah, you get it.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you, Nick. We'll see you in person next week.
Better. Got to bring that apparatus.
Yeah, we're excited to see.
People wanted to see it
I
tonight.
just cleaned it, so it should be ready to go.
Put it in the dishwasher.
Part of it.
Part of it.
Part of it cannot.
Does Chris have to have an electrical socket opened for this? No. Okay.
Pure manpower.
Pure manpower. Okay. All right. Well, looking forward to that next week. Bye, everybody. Yes.